Hello and welcome back to another episode of Deck Spotlight. This time we're going to take a look at Yellow Rush. This is actually one of the counter decks to the Whale meta. We've seen a lot of Rush coming back to check the control decks, the ramp decks. Aggro is the checks and bounds for many games when it comes to very greedy cards. And right now, Whale, as far as lands go, is 8 lands, so quite greedy. And these Rush decks should keep them in line. So not much has changed since Oversky for Yellow Rush. The only inclusion we have is the Crystal Flower. Just gives us a bit of removal. We can just remove a taunt or something that's blocking us to allow us to apply more pressure. But other than that, it's pretty similar to how Yellow Rush functioned before the Oversky came out. What I really like about this build is it has very snowbally turns. From like turn 3 onwards, you can go like desert, you can double neutral, desert, air elemental, desert, follower, hit orb, demon wrangler, and then you have a 5-2, a 4-2, and a 2-1 on board, and that can be very difficult for your opponent to deal with. So let's get into the games and see how this deck performs. Alright guys, we're going up against Jungwoo again, man. I play this guy so much, and it's so fun because he creates such original and interesting decks, and it's always a pleasure to play against him. So we're just going to double neutral. I actually saw Jungwoo playing Rush recently, and I was just like, wait, not 3 wishes? Jungwoo, what have you done? What happened, man? Alright, so just a forest. Hopefully that's going to be it. If we see the explored wood elemental, it's going to be a little sad. But we do have desert into air elemental. That is an option. Seed of Paradise, very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so hoping that this is going to live to generate an additional land. I haven't really seen this card being used that much right now. So we're going to double neutral, and we're just going to take the War Yak. So just immediately applying pressure. And we can hit the orb next to him with a desert if we want it. We can even kill this. Actually, we could probably just kill this, to be honest. We can desert here, hit. He needs a land. Oh, I don't like that. See, he's allowed us... I don't know. I mean, he's giving me a choice. 4 damage, or... Actually, I like this line from Jungwoo. He's basically saying, like, you have a choice with what you want to do on this turn. Kill the Seed of Paradise, which takes a land. Or take the well spot. I don't know. I mean, both look pretty good to me. I mean, I could desert here. Play air elemental. Desert here, then clear. Then play, yeah, then clear this. Alright, let's go for the board control option. We do give up the well spot, but perhaps we won't need it. I do have Wingate, actually, so Wingate's going to allow me to use my opponent's wells anyway. So yeah, let's just kill this and stop. We stop 1 Faeria. We also stop 1 land generation in the process. So it's looking pretty good for me. I have a lot of pressure for next turn. So I can Wingate here. Oh, very nice. Okay, so now I can do this. Play the Wingate. Move over into +1 into the Monk and collect. And already a victory comes down. I mean, it's pretty brutal. Like when this deck gets going, it's pretty awesome. You will defeat your opponent very quickly. But yeah, that's a good example of kind of a snowball start from a Yellow Rush against a 3 Wishes or a slower control deck. Into our next match, we had a very quick one last time. All right, Demon Wrangler. Great pickup. We're going to throw these guys. I just can't believe how fast this deck can win sometimes. Sometimes it just gets stomped, though. If your opponent gets a good land ramp start, gets a lot of taunts, it can be very hard to push past. You rely solely on Crystal Flowers to kind of pick away those taunts so you can apply pressure and continue hitting their orb. But in that situation, you know, controlling the Steed of Paradise, basically being able to monk and just flood the orb was very powerful. This is actually looking like a Crackthorn variant. I'm curious to see how this one plays out. So I'm going to actually go for my desert now, because I have the Explore. I can go into desert and I can pass. I can use the Wind Soldier to clear this, if I want to. That is an option. I probably will. I'm hoping I pick up a follower so I can Demon Wrangler after, but... You know, red will give us a bit of trouble. They have a lot of removal. Ground Shakers are annoying. That is a legit Devouring Plant. Oh my goodness. I can't remember the last time I saw this card. So, Devouring Plant saying hi. This is actually a great card against Yellow Rush. 5 life. Forces me to use resources. I can't Soul Drain it. I can't Choking Sands it. A very good card. So, a nice tech there from Milanis. A good little bit of deck building. See, so I'm going to take a desert. I'm going to wait. So the problem is, I want to use Wind Soldier and Monk to clear this, but I also want a Demon Wrangler, my Wind Soldiers, just so I don't lose value on the card. But that's going to require me having an extra desert. And I'm going to get that desert by here, which is really nice. Oh wow, this is... it's actually not bad. I can collect here, zip up. Actually, it depends where I want my Demon Wrangler. I could put it in front. I'm going to put it here. Use the Monk. So unfortunately, the Monk is just going to meet its end. There's not a lot I can do about that, unfortunately. But I do have the Soul Drain as an option in the future. So if the 4-3 decides to go into my 2-1, I can use the Soul Drain to remove it. A Ground Shaker here is pretty devastating, to be honest. Cypher's Wrath, it's not too bad. It's not a Ground Shaker, at least. There's another Axe Grinder. Axe Grinders for days. All right, let's take a draw. Crystal Flower. Okay. The problem I have... yeah, see, the problem I have now is I want to Soul Drain this. This is going to happen, but I don't want my followers just dying for free. But then again, I could get the Zealous Crusader. I probably have to do this. I don't really have much choice. Unless I save the Soul Drain now and I can just use this to clear, drop the 2 followers go in, play the Crusader behind. If I could get all of them to hit, I would definitely consider... yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm probably going to need a follower for the Khalim's Prayer. So let's take the Soul Drain. Take the hit. And then we can just take the 5/5 Zealous Crusader. Alright. What is next? This can move here and clear this guy. This can move here and clear this guy. Allows me to push 5 damage next turn. I have access to Crystal Flowers. Hopefully I'll pick up a Prayer, so it means I don't have to draw. I can Crystal Flower one of these guys, or if I pick up a Wind Soldier, I can Wind Soldier the 1. That's a Crackthorn Beast. Definitely going to be using Crystal Flower now. Oh, that is miserable. That is miserable. Such a beautiful spread there. What am I supposed to do against that? Crackthorn traditionally does very well against Yellow Rush. Just keep that in mind. No, I don't have enough to do everything. Okay. So I'm going to have to just do the water... sorry, the air elemental. Actually, am I even playing a follower this turn? Probably not. I mean, actually, see, I haven't got the prayer. If I had the prayer, I'd definitely consider it, but I haven't got a prayer, so I'm not going to. I'm not going to use my follow. This follow is going to be one of the only ways I gain my economy back through the prayer. Just going to step over, +1, and pass. Another flower. Take a draw, and a wind soldier. Again, like I'm not. I do want to use this follower, but if I pick up a prayer and I don't have initiative, I will be very upset. So I'm just going to use the wind soldier here and clear this out. I'm just going to pass. Let me just keep drawing every turn. Okay. Well played. Again, these drawers! Stop whiffing! There we go. That's exactly what we want. Okay, so we can just crystal flower this. Look how powerful these crystal flowers have become for me. Oh, what a draw! Okay, this is when the deck is just going great. You get your follower, you get into your prayer, and then you get that demon wrangler to finish things off. That was a draw, so no ground shaker. That's a relief. Crystal flower on the 5-2. So crystal flowers, you know, being very influential in Faeria right now. Take a draw, take the hit, play the war yak. We don't really care about this that much. I mean, it costs its entire turn to just absorb the 5-2, and we get to continue to develop pressure. So, yeah, it doesn't really matter for us. Maybe another Crackles. Yep, Crackles, number 3. Oh, man. He can't even dash here. It's actually a good position to stay in. And there is the other Crackles. Alright, let's take a draw. Excellent. So now what we're going to do is going to play the Wingate. We're going to move here, play the Monk. Then we get to push 6 damage. And now we're close to lethal. Right now, this Crackthorn Beast can't affect both of them, so he's going to need a piece of removal as well. We have Soul Drain, so we can Soul Drain this, and we have Wind Soldier as the finisher. We can expect the Wingate to die, but the Wingate kind of did its job. It allowed me to push with the Monk. Is there removal? Nope, there is a power-up. So that is going to be lethal for us. We can take the hit first. Oh, into the prayer. Into the Soul Drain, into the Wind Soldier, and GG's. And that's it. That's Yellow Rush. You know, we had a really bit of a shaky start actually. All the Axe Grinders were a bit of a problem, but we managed to use the Crystal Flowers to our advantage, take care of the bigger threats, and then apply pressure that way. That's why Crystal Flower is such a great card. Oh, am I a Gatekeeper once again? Double Waryak? I don't know if I can turn that down. That's beautiful. And a Demon Wrangler. Oh man. I'm going to keep this hand. I'm going to try it out. I've never had double Waryak before. And I'm on the Explorer, so I can get Waryaks down pretty quickly. It's sad if you're like 2 stars, 1 star away from God. Like if you're on a win streak, you can actually get God from this star number, and then you go up against Yellow Rush. You're just like, oh no, why would you do this to me? All right, so I can actually go explore into Waryak. Now the reason I'm playing the Waryak now is because my opponent developed land in front of his orb, and this allows me to basically clear anything that comes on these 2 sides. So I'm forcing my opponent to develop creatures behind. And this is just a way to apply pressure to my opponent's Faeria collectors. My opponent is going to want to collect Faeria to be able to defend against me. And if I can eliminate a collector on turn, well, basically on turn 2, it's very valuable. And as you can see here, I'm oppressing my opponent. I'm really pushing them back, and wow, that is a draw. So I am going to double neutral again. Then this side and move up. So my opponent might want to collect off this well. So I'm expecting a land to come down here. So this frees up this land for me. Thank you very much. And now I can go Desert Air Elemental. I could have went Desert Air Elemental Desert, but I'm still gonna do that. That's still happening. So unfortunately, I just don't have my Waryak. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so if this lives, I'm going to be very happy because it allows me to get my prayer off next turn. And nope, it's not going to live. It's going to get flowered. I might see this move up to go into double collection. I'm just going to block. Oh, that's fair. Aurora is really terrifying right now. I feel like my choices are Choking Sands and Pass, but I don't gain initiative, so I'm going to be playing the Waryak to try and maybe break open my Crystal Flower or just force my opponent to have an answer. Like Frogify or Aurora here are very powerful, which is very sad. The Choking Sands, the problem, if I had a follow-up play to the Choking Sands, I'd definitely do it, but because I didn't, I'm going to force my opponent to have an out. And it's going to be Aurora. Okay. Soul Drain would be lovely. But we don't get one. Now I could actually just cover the wells. I could go like Follower, Collect into Demon Wrangler. And then just put 2 threats on each side, force my opponent to clear. Gets the Collect, goes up to 7 Faeria. How important is it for me to get Crystal Flowers going? I don't know. It's tough to say. I guess if I do go for the Follower Demon Wrangler play, I open up Crystal Flower for next turn, and then if anything big comes down from that Faeria investment, I can just Crystal Flower it. So let's actually do that. I think this is fine. And if we split it this way, I potentially force this to actually jump across and clear, which means it doesn't collect Faeria this turn. I mean, there is a full clear here for my opponent. Oh no. Oh no. that is not what I wanted to see. That is brutal. That is brutal. Just going to show how powerful Aurora's creation really is. Can now move creation to Aurora. And I'm back in the same miserable position I was last turn. I do have the flower, but I'm not drawing anything. That's my issue. There's not really much point in playing Crystal Flower unless I have a follow-up play, like a Follower or a Monk, to be able to apply pressure. Now, my creatures are going to be released soon, at least, so my opponent's going to have to figure out a way to deal with them when they come out. If you've built another land, I can expect whales. If he doesn't build any more lands, we can maybe agree there's no other whales coming down. Is that another Aurora's creation? No, it's Sanu. Okay. Okay. I can deal with that. So Insanu is going to get swallowed. 100%. As you can see, I'm taking these deserts. It just gives me more angles to attack. I don't really need anything down here. So we'll swallow Insanu. We'll then go in with the follower. Get the prayer. Into the Demon Wrangler. So as long as these trade, I don't really mind, because now my Waryak is free, and then next turn my Air Elemental is free. So that pressure I applied in the early game is going to catch up with my opponent. But Yellow has access to a lot of removal. Let's see what removal options our opponent has. Just going to kill my 2-1. Just going to allow my 5-2 to live, unless that's a Wind Soldier. That's a Twin Soul. Okay. So I'd really like some removal. Humbling Vision. Interesting. I think we just take the draw. Ah, not very good options. Okay. Let's use the 5-2 first. To pray. It's a Wingate. The Zealous is kind of sad, but I feel like I need the Zealous right now just to leverage the board. I could actually Wingate and play the Zealous behind the Wingate, and this means it's out of range of the Aurora, and I quite like that. Because it still has charge too. And now I have my 4-2 back as well. I have a Monk and Follower in hand, Choke and Sand as a removal. I have a lot of good stuff going on. And then I can just move this Wingate out the way and potentially collect some Faeria if I need to from the right hand side. So it's looking decent, at least for me. We'll have to see what other options are available for this blue-yellow deck. We haven't seen much removal yet. No Soul Drains, for example. So Soul Drain could be very powerful right now. But if there is no removal in hand, I feel that you'd have to potentially prioritize just trade in here. I don't think there's any luxury. You don't have the luxury to clear the Wingate. It might be a Crystal Flower. A Crystal Flower would be pretty decent. We've seen 2 already. Fugoro, okay. Fugoro into Urn? Yeah, okay. Alright, so I do get to use the Wind Soldier. Let's just take the Monk first. Let's do that, and then we can decide what we want to do with this guy. I think just full clear is quite nice. We'll take care of Fugoro, and then we'll just Wind Soldier this side. I actually have a draw. Actually, no, I won't take the draw. I'll take +1. Then we can go Monk. Nice, nice. That's a really good turn for us. We basically swarmed our opponent, forcing some form of removal now. Clearing the board is very important with Yellow Rush. You basically want to limit your opponent's Faeria options as much as possible. Last Nightmare! Oh, what a 5-2! Such value. That cost me 4 Faeria. It killed a 5 Faeria creature and then got Nightmared. It's incredible. And there we go. There's a concede coming out from my opponent. So Yellow Rush performing very well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Well, that wraps up this episode of Deck Spotlight. Yellow Rush is a very good option if you're going up against a lot of greedy, slow land decks, and you can take advantage of that and use the power of Yellow Rush to defeat your opponent before they even get anything going. If you allow land ramp decks to do what they want, it's very difficult to defeat them because they just free. They have all the breathing room and the flexibility they need to establish a very strong control game, whereas Yellow Rush kind of stops that because it forces your opponent to play reactively straight out the gate. So a very good option there if you want to defeat all these whale decks and multicolored decks. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to know more about ramp decks, I have another deck spotlight which covers blue-green ramp, so be sure to check that out. If you haven't already, you could drop subscribe and get notified when our content goes live. We'd greatly appreciate that from you guys. And that is it for this episode. Thank you for watching again. So until next time, take care and have a great day.
Discover the Adventure Pouch Oversky, featuring a first-of-its-kind co-op campaign. Team up with either friends or powerful Faeria characters and discover a ton of new content, including more than 30 new cards. Join now to experience the Emperor's daily challenges and reap exclusive rewards. Explore the Oversky and reap the rewards today.